We're going to continue with our study of Mareh Yaakov, as with every week. We try to go through something in Parshat Shavuot to see if what we've learned gives us, again, a useful insight into what we've just read. We read Parshat Vayechi this week, and Joseph and the brothers go back to Canaan to bury Yaakov. And on their way back, after they've buried Yaakov, the brothers realize, oh, well, Joseph might want to take revenge. And they send a message to Joseph in the guise of the message coming from Yaakov, saying that your father commanded us to tell you this before, hinting that their father had commanded them, not saying it out loud, but hinting that this is what's happened. And they say that the message is, this is what you should tell Joseph. Please forgive your brothers. Forgive the sin of your brothers. So we're going to look and see what they say. Ko tomru, this is what you should say. So because we are at a new issue that they're going to present in front of Yosef, it's quite obviously starts as a new issue, so it's got the munach, and it's going to give importance to the speaking, because the speaking again is part of the pretense that they've set up. So we see that the previous pasuk, it's vayetzavu. They make it as if they were commanded by their father, but already they're having difficulty living with the lie. And what they're doing now is they're saying, Tomru, you should say, not you should command, or this is what Joseph needs to hear. This is what you should say to him. So all of a sudden the language has softened a little bit from it being something that they were commanded to say to something that they're just saying, because they're having difficulty living with what they say. So you see, the word Tomru has to have a lot of depth to it. It has to have that breadth of somebody who's coming to a realization that they're going to be caught, and they want to try and give it importance, but they're worried that it doesn't have the importance that it should. And then we get a very interesting word, and this is actually why I wanted to do this with you. The word is ana, aleph nun aleph, and in general it's interpreted as please, as na. It can also mean us, we, or I. And we see that the word is divided and has two notes to it. So it has a munach, so that's going to be separated from what we're saying. And again, this is, we're trying to say that this is a quote. So that's fine. It's separated out from ko tomru by the munach, because we're saying, quote, this is what he said. So we see that quote comes there in the munach there. And then the word ana and the word na both mean please. So we see that separating it out and saying this is what we're saying, and please have two different notes. And not only that, you can see that the na, the please, has a pazer, has a note that elevates and focuses the word and gives it importance. And the aleph sometimes stands for yechidut, for God's presence as well. So they're saying not only ani, I want you to do this, please. They're saying please in the name of God, please God. Mm-hmm. So they're saying all of those things, and that's why we have two very focused notes there. And that's just an emotional plea. So right away, they've said that, and then we're going to get into the actual request. So just please is this emotional plea, and it sort of stands there by itself. And then, as we see, sa, forgive, that word also separates itself out because we've had the emotional plea, now we're going to have the actual plea. So the munach there tells us that we've again separated this out, and na, please. And this has nothing to do with them anymore. This is dealing with Joseph. So we lose the aleph. So this is please without the aleph in it. So do it for God's sake or do it for your own sake. So we see both in the words and in the separation, the tlisha gdola is a note that always comes at the beginning of the word and always tells us that this is connected to what's come from before, and it's going to pause afterwards. So forgive, please, is going to look and say, well, if you're not going to do it for God's sake, do it for your sake. And all of that is sort of hidden in these 1, 2, 3, 4 notes that say, please, God, or please, for us, forgive for your sake. And all of that, again, is hidden just because of the way that the notes parse those words.
Wow,